Good morning and Jai Hind students. Now, in previous class, we continued or we studied about the changing cultural tradition in Europe. Understand? Or under that, we have already discussed a lot about the Renaissance, reawakening of the and revival of the old cultures and the development of the human thoughts and the scientific temper or this was no doubt. And now the one question arises before us that which factors, what were the factors of the rise of Renaissance in Europe? Already, students, we have seen that if the first factor I have already taught you that the decline of Constantinople, it was the capital of a capital of Eastern Roman Empire, named as a Byzantine Empire, or its capital was the Constantinople. But I have mentioned that, and we know that the Seljuk Turks now invaded on this city and now sacked this city and destroyed this city. Or now, on this, I have already mentioned that this was the uh, hub of this was a hub of the Western hub of the intellectuals or the art or a culture. Understand? Hub of the culture. But these large scale intellectuals escaped their life from there and took the refuge and the shelter in Rome. I have already mentioned, students. Understand? Or this was the just as a beginning point of the Renaissance, and which now gave a new outlook to the world, a new way to the world, way of thinking to this world. Understand? Or today, no doubt, that will be the not exaggerations to express that. Now, to today, what we are and what the world is the now that began with the Renaissance. Understand, the students? Or further, the next point we have discussed that the decline of the feudalism, the feudal lords. Understand, and the feudalism which had been the characteristics or the features of the ancient medieval Europe. Understand, this feudalism declined. Understand, or the deteriorated or weakened, and as a feudalism weakened, understand, so now the people now broke their chains of slavery, the chains of, and the now begin to take the open air and the air of freedom, and now they got the freedom of their expressions. Understand, the things now begin to be the frequently begin to be the risk to them, the thoughts begin to come to them. Understand? So now in this way we see that the decline of feudalism was another reason. Now the students, other impact of the impact or a the factors say which helped in the rise of Renaissance, we have the crusade. Another, the impact of the crusade. Now, crusade we know very well for the acquiring the Muslims and the Christians got involved in the a very furious battle. Understand? Or a religious battle between the Muslims and the Christians, and as a result of that crusade, the East and the West came near. Understand? As a result, the war fought Christians against the Seljuk Turks, and the ultimately the Seljuk Turks captures the Jerusalem, had the capture, and the people participating in the crusade came to the now those who were, it was not only the battle, the two armies gushed together, understand, and the massacre. No, it had the more than that. More the impact was that what happened, the two communities, east and west people, got first contact, and now, and the by the passage of the time later on, they came to the closer, and now exchange their views, begin to exchange their views. And because of that, the Europeans now, they got impressed, they were highly impressed by the Oriental culture, by the Eastern culture. Understand? Or and the Eastern civilization, which was based on the logic and the reasoning. Based on logic and the reasoning. European culture was based on particularly the logic and the reasoning. Understand? And with this logic and the reasoning was the base backbone of the Renaissance. Because everything not recklessly accepted, blindly accepted. No, everything was argued, observed, argued, experimented, understand, or accepted only on the basis of the reason and the logic. And second thing is that, and they got the opportunity of the studying. The Europeans got the opportunity of the 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 Eastern's text, Eastern's knowledge, and moreover, the Eastern's people got the knowledge and the opportunity and the knowledge of the studying of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates. They now studied these great thinkers about them. Understand this? No doubt enhanced and the now enhanced and broadened their horizon of knowledge. Understand? Now this is the reason the crusade was another factors of the rise of the and the growth of the students. Moreover, now growth prospered trading communities. Moreover, the trading communities prospered. We know that by the middle 14th to the 17th century, the traders had their good link and the good contact with the other parts of the world, the other people of the world. From there, they were now, particularly the Venice Italians, merchants, were now getting and earning a lot of money, amassing the wealth through the trade, and through their trade activities they were involved much in. And now the traders became the patron, and these prosperous traders, this now brought prosperity in Italians, traders, and the merchants. And now this prosperity paved the way for, or they gave the patrons to, now became the patron to these scholars, intellectuals, writers. They got the patron under the prosper trading class. Understand? Or literature, science, making significant contribution to the advent of the Renaissance. So these protections and the patrons given to them by the merchants, prosper merchants to the intellectuals, this now created the ground for a breeding ground for the rise of knowledge, rise of the new knowledge, new thoughts. Understand? And moreover, here one examples we have, very good example. If one merchants, now one of the, in the Florence, a merchant from belong to the Florence in Italy, now utilize his wealth in the collection of and translation of 10,000 rare books. He now utilize his wealth in the collection and the translation of the 10,000 books. Understand? 10,000 books in that collection or the utilizations here. The understand this now paved the way for the rise of Renaissance or the royal patrons. Now the that time was the very fortunately the royals and the kings, understand, they were also proved to be the patron. They gave the patron to these intellectuals, understand, on their and the Renaissance, the like the for examples we can see the France now like the Francis first of the France, French king Henry III, Henry VIII, and the Queen Elizabeth of England, Charles V of Spain, and Christian II of Denmark. Understand? Provided the financial patronage, financial assistance to the artists and scholars or the literates. They provided assistance to them. So this was the big protections for these now uh, writers or the intellect. These were the provided or encouraged the invention in the field of science, and that boosted the creations of the high class literature. The protection of these great kings boosted up to these intellectuals, and that boost resulted into the creation of the high class, the standard uh, books or the standard text that came into the society, and moreover boosted and encouraged invention in the field of the science, or many of the inventions okay occurred in the field of the science, understand. And students, here the revival of Italian cities. One thing is that now a freedom or the citizenship, the notion of citizenship was developing in the, understand, although whole of the Europe was in process of the absolutism, and the a autocratic kings were emerging. Now the at the we know breakdown of the feudalism, understand, after the breakdown of the feudalism, understand, now the kings became the and the kings became stronger. An absolute king, understand, means that now the entire powers was inherited by the kings. They now captures the power, understand, or these powers of the king, understand, king. So that there was a monarchical system, but one another process or a republican process, a democratic process for a common man was also emerging in the Italian city. Now we see that here, now the people, those who were the living, the merchants who had the contact, who made their contact with the Mongolian Empire, the Chinese empires, understand, and had the long route. They traveled the long route for the and made the contact with the distant people in respect of their trade and commerce. Italian cities a central role in these contacts were made by the Italian city, the Italian merchants. They played the central role in the, and they now saw themselves not as a part of a powerful empire. These Italian cities and the merchants did not supposed themselves and did not considered themselves as a part of the absolute and the monarchs. No, at all. The cities flourished in a very independent way, in a very independent manner, where the independent manner of cities like the Florence, Venice, and where the republican form and republican style of the governments were now flourishing and the developing and growing, and many of these port cities were ruled by the princes, or this where the clergy and the feudal lords were not politically dominant in Italian cities like the Venice and Geneva. No, there was no dominance of the princes, no dominance of the feudal lords, and they were different from other parts of the Europe. And these new Italian cities was quite different and distinct from the other European nations. And the rich merchants, bankers played a vital role in the governing the cities. And now the bankers, those who had the property and the capitalists, they now ruled they played a vital role in the governing their cities. Cities were now organized and governed by the rich people and the merchants. Not the kings had and the feudal lords had no role there. Understand? So this under the in these cities, a new kind of the political structure was developing. New kind of the new political structure, and the rich merchants, bankers played a vital role in the governing these cities. And now, consequently, the idea of citizenship started developing developing in these cities. So the ideas of the citizenship in which the citizens were in which the cities dwellers were taking the breath of the freedom there, and not influenced and the constrained by the feudal lords, and whether by the kings and the monarchs. Understand? So this kind of the free thinking, we can say, free thinking atmosphere and an environment created in this Italian city, and that gave a free thinking, a free outlook. Understand? No constraint, no control, no command. And such a new roots in Europe and this. Now, one thing is that another process was also going in the Europe. One thing I have already mentioned is that after the defeat of the Constantinople, capitulation of the Constantinople was captured, and the this after that the Arabs controlled the uh, entire the Red Sea. Understand? They control over the Red Sea. Understand? Or the Eastern trade with the India, particularly with the India Arabian Sea. Through that, they used to come. Europeans used to come. Now this was a completely blocked. Understand? And under these circumstances, the Europeans became the very rich, and now entire Indian trades came in the hands of and under the control of the Turks and the Arabs traders, and the Europeans had to the purchase anything from belonging to the East, anything which was coming and brought from the East at the very high rates by these Arabs. Understand? Arab merchants became dominant. Europeans had to be the so the European wanted having their own direct contacts with the East. Understand? So in this process, understand, the Europeans merchants wanted, so they now appealed to their absolute kings, and these traders appealed to the kings, and for the and promoted the kings and encouraged the kings for setting out and for the enterprising in enterprising the voices for the or the adventures, finding out the new routes for the east. Understand? So now this process, students, began, or now contact with the east and west had come to an end, result of the Turkish occupation of the Constantinople. So there was a big demand for the luxury items or spices of the East European country. Now the Europeans had the demand of the luxurious things, luxurious commodities, and as well as the spices from India or the or in the or these Far Eastern countries. Far Eastern countries they wanted, and now as of this, Because of that, therefore, European countries started searching new routes for the India and the other countries of the East. They started discovering the new routes, finding out the new routes for the India or whether for the East. Understand? This was the big questions before the Europeans. Understand? And as a result, what happened? We know very well. Vasco da Gama, understand? And now we know very well. Christopher Columbus, understand, who was set out for finding out the India, understand, in the 1492, understand, or now do you know to which country he belonged to? He was set out his voice from the Spanish with the help of the Spanish government, but he was not a Spanish citizen, understand, he did not belong to Spain. To which country he belonged to? That is the question for you students. And second thing is that the Spanish. So although he set out his voice for the discovery of India, but unfortunately he misdirected, or now he just moved towards the Western Atlantic, and ultimately he reached the different continents. Understand? We know very well. Here the towards the east, the Vasco da Gama now first time, but before the Vasco da Gama, in 1487, Bartholomew Dias, understand, a Portuguese who had now sailed to find out the India, understand. But as he arrived at the Cape of Good Hope, that is called, he also named at the Cape of Storm there. But his fleets now destroyed there because of the storms, and something went wrong there, or he could not reach to the India. Understand? Or that Cape of Good Hope, and after the 10 years, understand, the same route was followed by the Vasco da Gama, and he reached at the southern tips of the South Africa, understand, and that named as the Cape of Good Hope, and it was also known as the Cape of Storms. Then after, from there, between the Eastern Africa and the Madagascar, then he reached enter into the Arabian Sea, and reached at the Calicut at the, understand, and where he was warmly welcomed by the king of Calicut named as Jamhuri. Understand? The Vasco da Gama was just welcomed warmly, or Vasco da Gama, understand, again he took the many commodities from India, and then after sell out from here, or sold those things and the commodities in the European market 60 times more price, at a 60 times more price. And this created the huge unrest amongst the other merchants groups of the Europe. Understand? So where, let's see, when he came, or after that, growth in the trade and resulted in growth of the, and as a trade and commerce flourished because of the new lands were discovered, and as a new lands discovered, so then after the search of the new routes between Europe and the East added to the prosperity of the cities, and this and having the contacts, understand, from the Europe to the Eastern country. So this these countries and the cities became the more prospered, like the prospered these cities became, and the growth of cities Florence, Venice, Milan, and the Angalbergs, Nuremberg. These cities became the very prosperous because of this new context, and these cities were the soon developed into the now prominent center of the international trade. and by the passage of the time, these cities, understand, now became the hub of the international trade and the commerce. Okay, Florence and the Milan or Venice, okay, became the very international, and the open atmosphere of the cities encouraged. Now here the freedom of the thoughts, freedom of help the race to the doubts against the contemporary institutions and the church encourage the growth of the Renaissance. At this say where what I am talking that this now broadened the thoughts of the European people. The broadened brought the prosperity, atmosphere of the freedoms there. Understand? So no doubt this created created the new thoughts, new a new way of the life. Understand? So this where the basic thoughts, this where the this broaden the origin of the European thoughts. Understand? Or students now. Again, another thing is that a spread of humanism. One of the features of the these features of this uh, Renaissance was that the growth of humanism. Humanism means what? Understand? Humanism means the people begin to believe uh, on the on the human being potentiality, not the aspirity. Understand? The it was that this world had been created by the God. No, this notion was completely rejected. Understand? Or the it was accepted that this world has been the created by the human beings, by the human potentiality, by the humans yeah, mobile and toys. This world had been the created. This world has not been the created by. Understand? So this kind of the humanism, a kind of the new thinking. Understand? Or the or a this world. They believe that whatever this world, that is the truth. Whatever the in the spiritual world, the hearsay, that is not truth. Understand? So the human being and their thoughts, their potentiality, and their knowledge begin to be the emphasized or begin to be the accepted. Understand? The human beings. Okay. So here the humanism was the main features of the Renaissance. And what was the spiritualism and the God and spirituality that gone? Okay, that was the questioned and argumented by the common man. Understand, the students? Today, I shall wind up today, and the other two or three topics are the here. Then after then I shall start. Some of the region I have now taught you that, and more three or four regions are there. Points are I will explain in next class, and then after we shall advance our study. Thank you very much for attending.